CYNETHA Jade, most call me Love, back at it with another live stream. Well, I'm excited. So hopefully you guys join in, sharing the same sentiment, as it were, because you know what? We create these experiences together. I think that's pretty badass of us, if I do say so myself. But again, friendly reminder, it is what you make of it, okay? So, interestingly enough, we do seem to have some sort of carryover energy from last night's, or should I say this morning's, Love and Light Eat Me. Hopefully you're rested up by now. My goodness. um, there's some carryover from last night's energy. Okay, you guys, the reason why I say that is because, well, I'm being told not to let that cat out of the bag. My bad, Spirit. Okay, okay. So there's that. But moving right along, I've gone ahead and, in ode to current energies. Okay, we're not necessarily talking new moon. We're talking full moon in Libra. And in particular, guess what, you guys? It's another super moon. And a pink one at that. At least initially, you guys, I have posted some information into the Facebook group regarding this particular moon. And so it does include, depending on the area that you are finding yourself locationally, as it were, depends on the actual time. You should kind of like intend to look up or head out to see the pink aspect of it, because that's just really like the initial phase. Once it's really in full swing of being full, it's coming out white. So don't get it twisted, right? I'm just saying, there's a window of opportunity for this. Okay, I'm not here to doom and gloom you, saying you're gonna miss it. I just don't want you to, so I make mention of its existence, if that makes sense. Okay. Because you know what? How do you know you didn't know something until on the back end? I didn't know, right? Somebody maybe thought, I'll go out at 1:30 a.m. their time, whatever the hell that means, expecting the full moon to be full and pink. Not going to be the case, you guys. You can have one or the other tonight. How about that? But it is a super moon as well. So we are pulling from moon energies. Oh my goodness. Well, Eat Me sounds like you got a handle on the whole operation. Much love and light to you. And don't forget to smile, okay? Don't forget to enjoy the process, all right? I know for me particularly, I do very much enjoy being a gift giver of sorts. And so it does bring me a lot of pleasure to be able to give. But then I also know that there were times along the way where it was like, okay, now how much of yourself are you going to give and then still expect to like have you at the end, sort of thing. So you guys be mindful not to overshoot it and hurt yourselves when you are in that giver's space. Okay, now, that's not a call to stop giving, of course, but it is a friendly reminder: give to you first so that you have it to give others. Makes sense. So there's that. The first card out of you, gosh, I made this so many moon cycles ago, no pun intended, I promise. And I don't know, it's just giving, I don't know, I'm having like a little bit of nostalgia. I do very much hope to action out some projects here in the near future. But this was a lot of fun. This was a lot of work, though. Literally the first deck that I created for myself, really, but also for the channel, of course. And it was a lot of fun. But I digress. The first card we have out of this particular oracle, the secret to letting go. Excuse me. Wow. Yep, that's the message. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. It's so funny because we do have a lot of urgency through the rest of the message for the session, talking about letting go, questioning what are you holding on to and why. So I guess, we're done here. No, I'm just joking. But the next card, if you never try, you'll never know. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. And this is really a card talking about manifestation tools, dare I say. So many of us do know that, but for the ones in the back, maybe you didn't. Okay, now you know. So now you're caught up Live like it, manifest like it, love like it, fear not like it. So serious, you guys. Believe and believe in yourself specifically coming out here for you guys. Why? Because you are superstar. It's given that movie. What's her name? Is that Molly? Is that Molly Shannon? That's a really great movie too. Maybe that's of some significance. Maybe you grew up Catholic, perhaps. Collect moments, not things, came out with good things come to those who hustle. So for some here, and I promise you they came out like one next to the other. So serious. So some in totality of that, maybe for some, not all, is a friendly reminder to be mindful that the experience is basically what you're paying for, regardless of whether or not things are or not attached to that. Don't be a collector of something that doesn't make sense to be a collector of, if that makes sense, right? And or the amount of whatever that something is that high key for whatever reason makes sense to you. Don't overarch it to the point where it now physically traps you. You can't really get into that room anymore. You can't really get down that set of stairs anymore. And we're not talking about, physical ambulation issues, but really, whatever is spilling out into the hallways, into the corridors. All right. Whether this is physical things or not, hopefully somebody's getting this. Okay. Because you can be a hoarder of memories, thoughts. You can be a hoarder of, not to be triggering, but, traumatic experiences. Okay. And it's often connecting to some form, and there are many, of PTSD. I'm not mindful of that, right? However, if you were mindful enough to say, you know what, just like that super depressing, sad song is going to perhaps high key trigger my emotionality to stay in that loop, right? Same deal with thoughts. I'm not here saying you can necessarily control all of them, but you can identify what category they fall in. Are these the ones that get to stay? Or no, you shut that ish down. We don't live there anymore. That person doesn't exist in my world anymore. I am safe, right? Keep going, okay? It is the first step that costs, really. For those that are like, well, I've got this fill in the blank situation that is bigger than me, but I know that I know I'm called to it. I know that I know, I'm going to get through it, but you don't necessarily know how. And, maybe perhaps it specifically would take money, logically, maybe even supernaturally. Well, tap into the supernatural aspect of that. All right. So, supernatural doesn't always make or fit into the realm of logical sense. Also, we're not here to know everything always and in all ways. Maybe once you get into that flow state, you understand, I am grateful to be here. I am grateful to see how this all pans out. I am grateful that I have done my part in the matter each and every time I was asked to. I am grateful to wait. I am grateful that in spite of me not knowing exactly how, I am divinely supported. Okay. That's the sacrifice. You don't always have to come up with the money. On the other side of that kind of sacrifice or offering, so to speak, right? Spiritually, and mentally, makes sense. The money can come supernaturally, like how it would for a superstar, because that's you. All right. Even when the divine looks at you on your worst days, okay, you could be boohooing in the sheets or, yelling in the streets, perhaps, and you're still coming back to the reality of the matter. I'm hearing back to reality. I don't know what that's from. Back to reality. Back. Is that Eminem? Well, I don't know. Back to reality. I don't know. Open not your door when the devil knocks. Exactly. So you're not necessarily here to be in charge of all aspects of thought, but you are in charge to categorize again. Do we rock with these? Are these invited? Do we enjoy these? Should we access denied to this type of ish, right? And the more that you really maintain your control and sensibility about yourselves, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, perhaps, right? The easier all of it becomes, and you just start creating that utopia for you. Maybe not the world, but everyone in your world, right, is part and parcel of what you're creating and part and parcel of what is going on the within of you. All right. Because that's the type of time, there is a timeline that we're on or under or in and or building, right? And all of that comes out in today's message, you guys. So if that resonates, you'd like to know more, or you just enjoy hanging out with your girl and the rest of your high vibe tribe, all right, stick around. I really hope you do. Put the bell has rung, and those that know what to do may go on ahead and do so. All right, if you don't know what the bell ring means, please check the description box. Scroll all the way down. You got to hit that more. It is M&M Eat Me. That's crazy. I was like, back. It was like nasally. Back to reality. I was like, wait, is that? All right. Anyhow, whoo, I've got to ground. But you guys, check out the live stream roll so you know what to do. So you're not asking me questions that I'm like, I am not answering that for free. You know, so we don't have to have the talk. I'd rather just chill out, you guys. I don't really want to be on like some rules, you know, tyrant type of soapbox today. So please don't be that one. Because I warned you. No, let me stop. I'm just joking, but shoot, y'all keep me on the toes with keeping the boundaries up about them rules. I'm gonna keep y'all on your toes as you listen. Just saying, if I do say so myself. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's see about M asking you about breaking up with a B, Sag girl. That is too many, Spirit. It was like a whole chunk. Ooh. Ooh, yes, and it's going to give a tower moment. Tower, tower, tower. So yes, with the 10 of Wands, I mean, none of this looks fun or inviting. Well, hold on, Sag girl. Hold on one second, because I want to actually, because what if we don't need to care about that, right? Like, hold on, let me see. All right, so in case you wondered here, and I'm going to share with you the cards, Sag girl, all right? Just stick, hold on a second. I'm not here to half-ass the readings, even though they're free, right? So, as the Spirit leads, let me deliver the message. This is, again, speaking about decisions, right? Because here's the sitch. What if, you know, it's like the first yes is talking about, you know, yeah, that's going to produce a tower moment. Yeah, they're going to ask that. But so what of it, right? And so what of it is regarding that kind of decision, your spiritual guidance team affirms that you should break up with a B. That might actually advance you in life, and not to be rude, you know? So, you know, it's funny you're saying years no communication, but here's the sitch. This is talking about communication. 8 of Wands is talking about rapid, passionate communication. When you pair that with the 10 of Wands as well, that's going to come in pretty soon. So this could be a test for you, you know, going back to this Emma said 2 of decisions card. Okay, you see what I'm saying? It's important, right? Maybe you should take a look at that so that you're not having your own kind of tower moment, you know? Maybe the divine's using that person to get your attention so that you don't have your own tower moment, okay? Yeah, look at this. Self-sabotage card, if I do say so myself, and 3 of Swords underneath. I'm sure you know about this one, but maybe you don't know about this one. And the 9 of Wands, yeah, it speaks to passion and fire sign energy, etc., right? But hear me out. This is also the card that indicates the potentiality. I'm not here projecting it onto you. Don't come for me. I'm not here to word curse even. The potentiality, right? The possibility of basically shooting yourself in the foot. Okay. It's like you're almost advancing. And I even through the channeling said, you know, letting go of this person, whether energetically, mentally, emotionally, and or physically, would actually allow for you to advance, progress, right? And it seems like you're perhaps just, you know, pending at this 9 of Wands, really waiting for that 10 to drop so that you can get on to the new stuff, the new earth energy, the new timeline, the new version of self, right? The new self-worth version of self even. Ooh, right? And that's not me or anyone coming for you. It's just high time that you act and live and love the way that you actually are supported by divine, by divinity, as well as I'm hearing some others along your path. All right. Okay, well, then you know what you are choosing and prefer, right? You know what your intuition's telling you. I'm not going to sit here as anything, let alone a tarot reader, and tell you that that's not the case. Your intuition trumps all, okay? I do see that you do collaborate, but ultimately I don't think that that's a connection that should stand, if that makes sense. Okay. It's kind of giving the epitome of seasons ultimately needing to change, because ultimately change is inevitable, and ultimately seasons do change. So be mindful not to be in some form of toxic codependence referable to that energy, because then you're kind of still back at that Nine of Wands, shooting yourself in the foot, not believing in your own capabilities always and in all ways, to the point where you kind of rob yourself of your own wins in the experience. Okay. So I'm glad that makes sense for you, Sag Girl. Much love and light to you, babe. Keep going. I believe in you. I hope you do too. That's what's really important, irregardless of whether anyone wants anything or not from you, right? Are you happy with what you're doing? Are you actually in full on believability regarding yourself, regarding your capabilities, regarding your success in life and in love? And those are questions you have to honestly answer for yourself. Nobody else can come outside of you saying, yeah, you really believe in you. I can tell because I believe in you. That's not really the way. I low-key, high-key wish that's the way it could work. So I could just really believe, I could just grab the whole collective and be like, you fucking rock. And you know it. Because I would, you guys. I'll out myself on that one. I would, even though Spirit keeps telling me that's not the most loving way. Even though I'm just like, oh, if I could fix it for y'all, I would. I love and light you that much, collective. Whether we met 14 seconds ago or tomorrow, like, I'm so serious. And I really want what's coming for you guys in like a great, glorious sense of that phraseology, what's coming for you. No punishment and nothing attached to that you should fear. I'm so serious, just to be clear. And I really want, it's like I can sense it for you. I can see it in the cards. When I read your energy, can feel, man, you're almost there, just to that next breakthrough, you guys. I'm more than just a tarot reader here, right? Of course, energy is everything. Of course, I'm reading energy, makes sense, as well as utilizing my intuitive gifts. And I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about, and it's right there. I just can only encourage you guys to continue to align with it mentally, emotionally, right? There's a lot to us. So makes sense. It's a little bit of try and try again. I'm not here to say it's not, okay? In case anyone wonder, oh, you're trying again. Oh, it's only your 30 gabillionth try. Oh, good job. Keep going, right? Makes sense. Oh man, I'm so excited for you guys. Love and light, Roa. You guys, check the description box for the live stream rules. All right, if you have done that, it's going to show because you're going to get a free reading. How's that? If you don't have a free reading, man, that's a pretty telltale sign that you're not following all of the rules. Okay, but welcome. You are welcome here. And I'm going to go ahead and get into our general collective message. You guys, this is your message. If you are connected to this channel, you have subscribed, okay? This is your message if you have hit the like on the video, as well as having been subscribed to the channel, all right? And as well as if and when you follow those live stream rules, you're going to get your free tarot reading. I'm not here not to read your cards. I'm here to do just that, baby. But guess what? You're getting more than what you came for, as usual. All right, from your girl. Makes sense, no problem. So sit tight, get cozy, hang out, and listen up, you guys. This is for every one of you, for every one of us, okay? We're all in this together. Gosh, is that Hannah Montana singing? I don't know what's going on there. Let me hydrate, folks. So you guys, high key are on a journey. Makes sense? Of course, collectively and separate and apart. We're on a freaking journey. Kind of giving understatement if I do say so myself, but I digress. Next card out from the Energy Oracle for you. 51 reducing to 6, Healer of the Ages. And gosh, if I know my, I'll say it this way, controlled religious history correctly, this is giving Yeshua vibes. Most call him Jesus. All right. And it's so funny when you reduce all this down together, the 51 and the 2, All right, I'm getting 8, which is speaking of alignment. And look at this, the angel of balance coming in to assist just that with a 48. Oh my goodness. Seems like you're big stuff here, honey bun. Whether guy, girl, what have you, you're given divinity, backed by divinity. So lay claim to it, act like it, believe like it, okay? Because this is really what allows you to continue to utilize your strength and allows you to call in even more from angelic forces, from your mental space, your heart space, emotional body also comes to mind. When you lean in faith and the faith of the universe, even. See, this is how they say you're too blessed to be stressed, okay? Even scripturally, going back to Yeshua, there is some aspect whereby, you know, him being the super alchemist, okay, which is still giving an understatement there. That felt mid. Yeshua. Okay. But he's even quoted as saying something to the effect of, you know, basically allow my faith to bridge that gap where your faith may fail, right? Because just like all aspects of divinity, you guys, the divine believes in you. I sat the other day and I thought, man, oh day, like the divine actually believes in me. And you know, it's not really tooting your own horn. It's really just talking about the truth of the matter, right? I mean, they even make cards about it. I'm so serious. Like divinity backs us, okay? All right, but what of it? But think about it. The divinity that is more than what you can see as to anything meeting the eye here in this realm is greater, trumps all of it, beyond our comprehension in our current state, believes in each and every one of us. Not even in the sense that, yeah, if we all come together, then one day on a random Wednesday, perhaps, we'll all be strong enough collectively. But the second we break apart, no, it's just giving like you're already direct connected. You're already like the divine knows you and knows you well. The divine backs you. And you really need to kind of put that towards your forward focus here as you co create Earth, new Earth to be exact, okay? Now, why is that? Because it's going to assist you with keeping that strength and your faith muscles built up, yes, but also flexed to continue to build. And this is what this message is talking about. This is where you are in the aspect of the timeline, okay? And when you lean on the faith of the universe, of Yeshua, of Jesus, of God, of Holy Spirit, of your angels, however you need the tag words indicating all forms, aspects, and dare I say, fractals of divinity backing you. You're that much. I mean, think about that. You know, many of us have searched a time or two in varying ages and to varying degrees. You know, measures of appreciation, dare I say, praise from, you know, parental figures come to mind, perhaps certain aspects of authorities, okay? And many of us are really recovering people pleasers, okay? It's like, okay, the more I can get recognition and reward, you know, the more I can equate that to love, which is really a lack mindset. And that's really talking about more so service and business transaction type of connection, type of ideation, and not really love there. Okay. And of course, the people benefiting from the business transactions and, you know, the love you were giving aren't necessarily so quick to tell you that much, quite unfortunately. But gone are those days, all right? And still, in spite of what you have climbed out of, whether simply and solely referable to the mindset, okay, and or spiritually, you're not expected to do any part of this co-building, co-creation of new earth energy by yourselves. So please don't get that twisted as well. It's like there's some balance and perception, or excuse me, perception needed here, referable to your connection and your worth and your integration of divinity. Keep going, keep asking for assistance from your spiritual guidance team, from Holy Spirit, from the universe, from God, from Goddess, however you subscribe here, from higher self. All right, the key to prayer is to forget what you think you need. All right, this is really talking about allowing the lack space, whether mentally, whether emotionally, whether all of that, inclusive of spiritually, to lop off. Okay, this is really talking about that regeneration, death, rebirth energy, phoenix rising from the ashes. Allow it to fall off into the ashes, right? And by it, again, the mental space, the emotional heart space energy that is creating and focusing and searching for lack. All right, let it go. It doesn't have a place here. And that's okay. You can really allow yourself to let it go if you gratefully let it go. Thank you for the lessons that you taught me. Because how would you know, you guys? Like, seriously, how would you know how powerful your thoughts were if you didn't experience what your thoughts were when they were perhaps less than desirable on the vibration scale of things, right? Maybe they were lower vibes. All right. Again, talking about some aspects of the path, the mental state, the heart space, the lineage, the blood ties, right? Balancing, alchemizing what you came out of, if that makes sense. Hopefully that's making sense. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perceptions. There's that word perception again, right? So that I can see what is of the highest good. And so what is of the highest good is not only of the highest good for you, but ultimately as well as just the same others. Okay, it's a win-win-win-win-win. Gone are the days of the people pleasing, though. You see how if you put that cart before the horse, it gets janky. It's not so, it gets, I'm hearing volatile. I'm hearing you say volatile. That's not okay. That's a very strong descripting type of word. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. And this is why you're being asked to continue to do the work, but this is also why you're really assisted by divinity to do it. It's so important that you must, right? But the divine believes in you so much, simultaneously they're helping. It's funny. Maybe you have been taught that if somebody's helping you, it's because they don't believe that you're capable of doing it their way, perhaps, or right. And, you got to be honest with yourself. If you thought that you were going to come into a realm of anything, take earth off the table, where perfection in its literal form doesn't exist, and you thought you were just going to create it there, you're just going to be it anyway, it doesn't exist. That's really going against some of those spiritual laws and principles. See why it's so important to know them, so you don't fight against them, so you don't shoot yourselves in the foot, so you're not stuck at that 9 of Wands position talking about, I didn't realize I was self-sabotaging. Whole time I was. Yeah, whole time. That's why it's best to check in, confirmation, and really see what all you're working with, especially on the within of you. Because again, whatever is rocking out in there is going to rock out in your world. And you don't want it to rock your world in a low vibes sense. Okay? Trust the universe is coming out here, as well as make time for self-love. And it's so interesting. This is really talking about now energies for sure, with that Libra energy connecting to the moon. We've also got Aquarius and Capricorn coming out. Double Aquarius. We've got Virgo and Taurus chart placements coming out. Yep, leave the past behind here, collective. Leave the past behind. You know why, firstly, why that would be the case? It's because it really doesn't exist anymore. Okay? It's not anything that we can wholeheartedly, keyword, take into our future. All right? But there's a lot of energy behind this card in the sense of leaving past habits, mindsets, ideations, verbiage, people, places, things behind that mean you no good, that are not falling in line with the highest and greatest good. Okay? How did this card state? Yeah, for the highest good, highest and greatest good. All right, if it doesn't fit inside of that type of category or aspect of itemization, you've got to let it go. And it's only going to assist you. I didn't say it's easy to let it go. I'm saying it's only going to assist you. Okay, and that's, many of you, you've been waiting for years for some aspects of these manifestations. And of course, yeah, you might want to rationalize it talking about, well, those are bigger manifestations. Well, guess what? Even if that's always the case, and even if that's literally the case, then it's still a telltale sign, a high key indicator that you are around, you are engaging in people, places, things, mindsets, idea. You see where I'm going with this? So either way, you're being asked to check in to the within. Love and light, Ivo. Love and light, Cassandra. So it's like, it's kind of like in some of those iconic movie scenes where, action movies come to mind in the general course. I'm not getting any one particular one. And it's basically like, it's either me or you. And you're being asked to know that. Some of you are really needing to know that so that you make the right choice. And so that, the window of opportunity for some of your next big ticket manifestations isn't closed on you because of your decision and or indecision. You can't ride the fence on what all I'm speaking on because it's resonating with you in a particular way regarding a particular person, some of you, regarding a particular job, others regarding a particular mindset. Okay, take a look at your family members. Are there, is there like a trend or a patterning, right? And so what of it, right? But here's the sitch. If you know it's not something that you want to sign up for, be mindful to action out of it. Be mindful to perhaps change some aspect of truth. Okay? Really, you're changing your perception about the truth. It's not really necessarily specifically changing truth, if that makes sense. And again, that goes back to that 8 alignment energy. You're being asked to integrate fully with where you've been intending to go, where you've been telling the universe that you intend to go. All right. And so now you're being asked to just let go so you can get there, so you can go there. Show the world the real you. Authenticity is not to be left outside of this timeline. Okay. And just the same, you need to authentically, it's one thing to say this and act like you mean it, but to authentically know it, especially when you mean it, that you are good enough, is really the call, the command, I want to say. Okay. And there's that heart space energy, that green shining through, that Virgoian energy. All right. So you could have some Virgo chart placements, doesn't have to be the case. Same deal with Taurus here, but prosperity is lying ahead. Now, why is that? Because you're co-creating with source, life force energy, universal energies to assist with the creation by performing your aspected co-creation of New Earth. It's big stuff, okay? Let the other side of this moon cycle prove, okay? And you guys, this is why I wanted to eke out the message so early, because I want you guys to take time, meditate, do what you gotta with this full moon energy in Libra. Yes, it's a super moon as well. And initially will be pink, you guys. So for those that don't know, it's not going to stay pink in the sky. You'd have to kind of be looking out as it shows itself, as it arrives, as it were. And that's when it's going to be in its most pinkest hue, pinkest stages. All right. But prosperity lies ahead, and prosperity means a whole host, a whole myriad of things. All right. Yes, it's inclusive of money, but it's also inclusive of emotional well-being, self-worth, right? Emotional maturity, perhaps, being heightened even. Some of you are already very mature, but as you allow this reintegration during your co-creative process, you're going to see that your intuitive gifts are heightened. All right. Even if it's just simply to, I don't know exactly how I knew that, but I knew to turn left. The GPS said turn right. I just, yeah, get used to that. Okay. Because you're on New Earth timeline, if that makes sense. Okay. So stop with that lack mentality talking about there aren't enough hours in the day. Okay. Instead, change it around. Today is a good day. See how they kind of fit in almost like what, the almost same amount of words. You can just switch it around because which one's going to produce that better fruit, you guys? Also, which one, you got a whole new house, all right, a mansion, some of you a castle, right, in this new earth paradigm shift here. And you've got some land, right? Why would you bring the tree with the rotted fruit to plant? Why would you even bring a seed? Ooh, makes sense? Okay. So what will you, collective? It is what you make of it and what you got going on, what you truthfully make agreements with yourself, deep inside of yourself, is going to show in the most outward, maybe odd ways. Okay. It's really not for the faint at heart. Okay. You are here to co-create New Earth. Even if you have ever been a part of like an organization, perhaps a team, a learning institution, a group of people, even at work, having to really, work together in all aspects of that, working together, all right, what it should mean. And that it's like, okay, if there's too many weak links, it's not going to be a smooth running operation. Well, same deal if you are planting seed after seed after seed of manifestation, and then every now and again you're planting seeds of buckish, speaking in code because YouTube, okay? And so it's like, well, what do you think is going to happen? Well, you're going to lose a lot more than if you would have just kept going with the aligned perception, right? Which is, you are more enough. Excuse me, you are more than enough. There are more than enough hours in the day. Today is a good day. You see where I'm going with that? Because you're in control. It's so funny that they should choose an airplane of any sorts here. I know it's a paper airplane, but this is really also, for some interesting reason, giving me mental space energy. It's like you can think thoughts that will perhaps make and or break entirely the situation, the manifestation, the next steps, the path, right? The goal. So, okay, understand you are seated in the cockpit of your life and you serve as its brave and fearless pilot. If you experience turbulence, remember your position at the controls and adjust accordingly to navigate through any trials and tribulations with ease. Right? So don't get caught up in another trial, another tribulation, and what of it? Because now in this new earth energy, unless you shoot yourself in the foot, you can't get your head around this, you won't believe, right? Okay, please don't be that one, just saying. You have full command of your destiny. Otherwise, you are in it to win it. You are here. The divine believes in you. Remember how we talked about that? We took some minutes to talk about that because that's how real the situation is. So breathe like it. You don't really have to keep your panties or boxers in a bunch in the back of your recesses going, yeah, but what if? Yeah, but what? You could if you really are stubborn about doing that. Right? But you could also just the same, it's kind of giving like what we said about back here. It's kind of giving the same words, but it's such a total different outcome. You could do the same with putting that same amount of effort and energy and pulling out of the fear space and plugging it into the passion, faith-filled space. Okay. I know that I know that I know, and if you don't know how, maybe start talking about how you're grateful you don't know how. Because you don't need to know how. Like if you don't know how, collective, about something, someone, anything really, and hear me out, and that you have taken time to know, you have studied to show yourselves approved to know, right? You have perhaps humbled yourself to know, right? They always say in the religious community, well, dare I say the religious community, perhaps worth their weight. I'll say it that way, right? Not to be offensive, but from one religious community to the next, I don't necessarily stand for because it would depend on the root and the spirit. But anyways, I digress. That really, you really are here to do greater works, okay, than Yeshua. Makes sense, going back to the alchemist. So you really are here expected to be in control. And the divine is aware of this. Could you imagine that you had no awareness that the divine was aware of you? How sad would that be? Also, could you imagine if you didn't make time to like really soak in those juices? How sad would that be? Because you'd really be doing a lot of work, right? You'd feel alone a lot more. Probably you'd feel less connected to divinity a lot easier. See how, you don't really want to not do the work so that way you can live this life with ease in spite of the buckish, okay, which is really part for the course of you co-creating your own personal utopia. All right, I'm so serious, you guys. Today is a good day. What are you saying about your days and nights? Personal growth is unlimited. It's okay that you're still here learning. It's okay that you're still here growing. For anyone to say otherwise, please know that they are a falsity. Please know that is illusion energy. Please know that is demon time, okay? Because everybody knows at this point, especially in New Earth, what we came to do. I'm going to ring the bell for those that maybe came in the back. And I'm going to take some moments because where I got to go is giving like Galactic Federation vibes for this next part, and I just want to gear myself up. Man, I know that divinity loves and backs my collective because, man, even your ancestors too, but like it's just everybody joins in unison to just go to bat for y'all. I hope you know that. Like it's one thing for me to be like, yeah, that's exactly what's going on, but I really hope you guys know that. Like your spiritual guidance team fucks with you so hard. All right, like literally I wouldn't want to be your karmics. I'm just saying, I wouldn't. Mm-mm. Too much divinity to play with. That's a dummy game. You might not survive. Trying to buck around. Just saying. And I know, oh my god, I know because my nose is trying to do that thing. I know I'm speaking straight facts. All right. So the bell rang. I don't see any questions, you guys, and I've taken a moment to hydrate. I've been on here 40 minutes so far, so I kind of want to just keep going. I will again ring the bell. I'm not trying to play games or nothing. Definitely not here to half-ass any kind of reading, right? As well. So bear with your girl. The bell will again ring. There could be some significance to 4-4. I say tongue in cheek, but I'm looking at it on my screen. Of course, that is the angel number, right? 4-4. And you know, I don't mind the angelic realms asking us to focus progressively on its magnanimous presence in our lives, in our path, in our consciousness as well, especially as we embark on these next aspects of this session. You guys, this is for people that have been doing the work. All right. I'm looking at some activations, some coding that is really expected and also is being assistive to you, referable to current aspects of alchemization, current aspects of, again, building that new earth energy. Okay. Okay, Amy, no worries. I'll be here. No worries. Okay. So 41 reducing to 5. You guys, you know, you only need one of those 5s to talk about life-changing energy. All right. I'm going to run through these really quick, and then I'm going to hit it home with the ultimate channeling. All right. The best way I can say it. So I'm going to kind of read these kind of fast. All right. Just to get through it. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. All right. And long story short, we're talking new earth. Okay, new earth. The frequency of synergy is assisting you to essentially co-create this new earth energy is what I'm trying to eke out here. Now we've got to talk about 40, right? There's another 4. The frequency of soul time, okay, asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. Okay. And realization of this, again, realization of who you are, higher self energy, makes sense. Okay, you're integrating this all into new earth energy. You guys, last night we were talking about especially pile number 3. Man, that ish got deep. I want to know who resonated with that pile, those that seen it, and for those that haven't, go on ahead, right, and check that out after this one. So serious, because there is some sort of carryover. All right. You guys are really, long story short, pulling aspects of intentional soul fragmentation, referable from one incarnation to the next, to the next, to the next, to integrate into your now space, to bring into the new earth energy. You're co-creating this with source, okay, and its codes. Make sense? Realization of this really does help. So the frequency of realization, we're talking about supporting internal processes of becoming aware of your heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming your highest expression, aka higher selves, excuse me, in this world, in this new reality, in this new earth. Solar plexus chakra, okay, is also getting some maintenance here. This tells me Archangel Metatron is in your midst, collective. Makes sense, okay? The frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole, to the collective consciousness, to the highest and greatest good of all, to the new earth, to the new reality. Makes sense? Love and light, country love. And again, new earth is what? Conscious-based awareness. It's not hopping from one rock to the next, from one plane to the next, from one planet to the next. It's conscious. It's high key why not everyone can go where you've gone or will be going and have been. Okay? Because this is not for the faint at heart. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to be faith-filled. You've got to be intuitively led at this point. And of course you are. That's how you're receiving the message. Makes sense? The frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up, so we can include them in our reality. They made cards about what I've been channeling since what, this morning? Which makes sense because moon energy that I'm pulling from was also very much present even then. See how this works? Energy is fluid, you guys. And Merkaba, I love this one. There's that 32 giving you another 5. The frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance. You thought I was going to say records. Listen up. Don't be so small-minded. Stop restricting divinity, okay? Don't fight against the current, especially when the current is divinity bringing in your manifestations, which is at least your dreams, goals, wishes, and aspirations, but so much more. So whoever that was, all right, not saying beat yourself up, but open yourself up to the reality, which is that you are divinely backed, divinely purposefully here in this experience, human-like as it may be. Keep going, okay? Access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose, our highest selves, our highest timeline. Do you understand that? All right, I hope somebody's getting this. Ooh-wee. This is good. This is, I can't find words that are, like, I'm taken aback, okay? Like, your girl's speechless. What do you want from me? All right, I got the message, though, and it goes like this. Empowerment, all right, 26, there's that 8 reducing. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely. Fully and complete. No hole in the soul, you say? Okay. Uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are all connected through the same source. Okay? Just saying. And here's this delight energy, really talking about happiness and joy, which we love to talk about, especially referable to where we're going and what we're building and what we are existing in the now space, in the flow space, in the personal utopia, in the sacred space, in the mental space, in the heart space. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? All right. So you got let this, especially when the divine talking about we're assisting you with lopping it off, let that old paradigm, let that old ish, let that old relationship, let that old lag lop off, babe. Okay, because you really don't have time for it. It shouldn't have been there in the first place, but we're not talking about that. We're focusing here towards where you're going and what you're building and what will you, now that you know better, okay? The frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. What did I said it, happiness and joy, but I'm just saying, the more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. And it's a win-win-win-win-win. This is the golden ticket, okay, for someone who is an high key significance people pleaser, okay? Because really you understand now on the other side of it that everyone has a better time around you, even aside from your intentions, if you have intended to take care of self first. If you have intended to love self first, if you have intended to cheerleader, reparent, all right, coach oneself firstly, okay, everyone else benefits even more than you left your own devices can create. Okay, so it's best to co-create the experience. When this guidance comes in, take heed, follow through, don't give up, believe. All right, crown chakra frequency out here with the violet flower of life. Again, I feel like that just came through the last time we consulted this deck. Supports spiritual connection to the universe and ability to transmute negative energy into light. New earth. Highest, greatest good. High vibes. Higher selves. Higher consciousness. Right? There's no lack there. Too busy winning. Okay? Divine feminine energy coming out here. Now, this was interesting because we also have fertility come out of the deck. And you know what? It doesn't really matter the transits. You can best believe that because we are so heavily connected to Gaia's energy is usually swirling about in some form, level, measure of influence, okay? And, those that know, but maybe not everybody does, I'll just scratch the barely surface level here. Long story short, in this new earth, paradigm shift, as it were, referable to the consciousness, the conscious-based awareness. All right, divine feminine energy, okay, this is not really attached to any meat suit, it's really just the vibe, is really going to be the forward progressive force, okay, on the other side of, the ultimate paradigm shift here, when literally the wheat is literally sifted from the tare in a finality type of sense of that. And so, irregardless of whether you're a guy, girl, what have you, you're being called into aspects of femininity, divine femininity, which means I am worthy. I am worthy to receive. Guy, girl, what have you, right? I mean, not just feminine, just because you're in goddess energy, is that the prerequisite to be worthy to receive. Men are worthy too, right? There is some phenomenal men out there. I'm sure if you're one of them, please identify yourself. No, let me stop. But, let me stop. But there are some, there's all kinds out there, pick which one you want to look for so that you can see it faster. You know what I mean? And so again, there are so many gabillions and trillions and zillions of wonderful men out there. Single too. And loyal. Remember, collective? Let me stop. I'm on one, my bad. I couldn't help myself with that one, but just saying, right? But this divine feminine energy, understanding that, guess what? Just because I'm blessed, just because I'm capable, doesn't mean that even according to divine standards, rule, and agenda, that I've got to do everything always and in always by myself while everyone watches. So be mindful. Don't overarch the masculine, again, going back to energy, regardless of meat suit, such to the point where you're shooting yourselves in the foot, right? Wondering why you always have to do fill in the blank on your own, by yourself, with no, it's because you're telling, hey, universe, you know how my utopia exists? Yeah, well, in it, nobody really helps me and I'm by myself all the time, right? Like, I mean, you have to be really understanding what's going on in here is really what you're going to experience, because again, your gifts are heightened here in this new earth energy, and again, divinity backs you, and you already are divinity. So there's a lot of we'll call it magic, power, strength for others, right, swirling about. And so what will you with it? Okay, you've got to know that, because you're expected to be in control. You're expected to be in that cockpit of your plane ride of your life here, buddy. Just saying. Okay. The frequency of divine feminine supports a receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. In this divine feminine energy, you are allowing the energies to be conducive for you to receive your manifestations. Do you understand that? And again, you are worthy of them. So it's giving win, 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 win. And this should be something that is doable for you. Don't forget. Okay. So there's that. With this 44 again coming out, I already said it could be a number of some significance, and now we're talking about it. Universal love activates the connection that you feel to each other, as well as to our planet. There's that Mother Gaia. And to the whole of existence itself. Okay. So now, God forbid, you allowed yourselves, like we talked about in the wee morning hours, just a few short amount of hours ago, to allow yourself to be in that grade A reclusivity type of situation. Okay. You're cutting out your tangible, there's another word from this morning, evidence of, your existence to the all in all. Think about it. You'd be like, no, I'm all alone. Because when I look to the left and when I look to the right, even though you created it that way, you're just like, I'm all alone here. Like, yes, I'm on a world, I'm on a planet filled with, however many people are here. But the way that you've created the experience and crafted it and maybe even built walls up, okay, such to the point where, like, you literally are alone. But you can't be disappointed and surprised at the end of that. When you've done the work to create that experience, you guys, do you know how many people do the same amount of work to create trauma drama, I like to call it, versus healing, right? And people go, oh, but healing, it's hard. It's hard to get to the point where you're creating trauma drama for yourself as well, right? First of all, the trauma. So there's that, right? And then also rocking with it, maybe even telling yourself, I deserve that, and certain aspects and respects, and right. Next thing you know, you're telling divinity, like, hey, divinity, I feel like you deserve that trauma, right? Like, now you're creating drama. It's a lot of energy, you guys. If you really break it apart and really unemotionally look at it, it's a lot of energy. Just even utilizing your mental processes can be a lot of energy. That can drain your day so fast. All right. If you let it. Okay. So now imagine all systems go with this, right? It's a lot of energy and effort. So now that we've talked about that and you're aware, what will you? Will you utilize that same energy and effort? Well, you probably should, right? But how will you? Are you going to use it the way that you were kind of shooting yourself in the foot to use it with, or should you just tweak it a little bit and live a lot more grandiose and happy? There's that happiness and joy, that delight energy looking to come to you. You might want to call it in. It's almost there with that 19 reducing to 10. Endings, new beginnings simultaneously. I'll take it if you don't, collective, right? It is what you make of it. It doesn't have to be punishment, doom, and gloom. It could just the same, maybe even simultaneously for some, not all, be, that happiness and joy energy if you only allow for it. Love and light, Freaky J. Coherence 13 is a very high ranking, highly spiritual, significant number. Okay. This really would talk to like priestess energy. Okay. Death and rebirth energy, dark night of the soul energy. I'm also hearing Mary Magdalene vibes. With this coherence, the frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for optimal ability to create the reality, the new earth that we desire, the experience that we desire. Okay, so you are in co-creation energy. You better know it. You better know it. I'm so serious. Okay, you better think like you know that. You better talk like you know that, especially to yourselves. I'm not saying go get a soapbox and a megaphone and tell everybody, cheat codes about your next steps. Makes sense. But from you to you, with you, oh yeah, you better talk like you know. Fertility is here. Frequency invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, more joyful than we were before. And there's that femininity type of energy. Makes sense? You got to open yourselves up, babe, to receive. You got to know you are worthy, irregardless of whether being a guy, girl, what have you. You're a royal divinity in a meat suit, okay? Having a human-like experience because of the suit and because you contracted at the soul level to learn and grow it, okay, for divine purposes, for divine forces, refracting all the way back to source. See how the divine universal system supports you. Okay, so serious. This frequency of fertility activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from your consciousness into a new and grander expression of yourselves. Hello, hey, hi, welcome to New Earth. You've survived. All right, so now you must what? Thrive. Okay, that's it. Sacral chakra. You may want to listen to those vibrational frequencies that assist with blockages, specifically in the sacral chakra, but we also had solar plexus. I'm just triple checking to make sure there wasn't another one that came out. I don't think there was, but just to be sure. Nope, we're good. So, you know, and it's crazy because these are next to each other, basically. And they do speak to, you know, like the heart space also, I thought came out, right? But I don't know if we have like the actual card, but hear me out. Oh, here's the crown chakra. Okay, there was another one. Hold on. Let me just take time here. There's probably some synchronicity to this. Take time to slow down to receive. Take time to consciously, coherently connect. Take time to create that divine universal love, yes, but also that delight, happiness, and joy energy. Take time to check, where am I in feminine energy? Am I underarching, overarching, right? Because as Mother Gaia integrates, okay, so too shall we. And vice versa, right? Again, connecting back to that soul contract. Those grid workers know, okay? Maybe some of you here subscribe as being a grid worker. But again, we've got the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, and the crown chakras coming out, okay? And really, I want to talk about the heart chakra mostly. You know, it's funny because the heart chakra is basically likened to that of the nucleus of the chakral system, okay? So long story short, healing its energy, okay, does assist all chakras kind of like simultaneously. So it is one to really kind of focus on. But I'm just getting, you know, if you could purposefully also integrate the solar plexus and sacral and crown chakras, referable to what work you're doing with that heart space energy. Again, you know, if you're worthy, hear me out. Okay, and you are, like, please don't get it twisted, right? So since you're worthy, you've got to what? Know like it. So you'd have to perhaps intention some thoughts like it, maybe infuse the mental space, okay? Subconscious, inclusive, all right, with some positive I am affirmations, right? You know, I am safe. I am in charge, all right? And we know that those affirmations also simultaneously assist with at least that of the sacral chakra, but also I want to include the root there. See how you can really integrate this work to just kind of like do a wash, a rewash, and from one level to the next, perhaps, but also often simultaneously, okay? Of course, you'd have to believe that that's a thing, right? You'd have to believe that you can think thoughts that are positive. I believe that you can, right? But that doesn't necessarily get you there. I'm urging you to get yourselves there, especially those that know that you're struggling perhaps with getting yourselves there, referable to the mental space and or emotions, right? To believe in yourselves again. You are being called to because you are more than capable of doing all that you set out to come here to do, whether you have awareness of that currently or not. Okay, and so much more, which also includes your dreams, goals, wishes, and aspirations. Okay, your personal growth is unlimited, you guys. You're not here for one dark night of the soul, even, I'm hearing to say, you know, makes sense. You guys are top tier, upper echelon aspect of collective consciousness, and that's why you are entrusted with co-creating, co-building this new earth. All right. Look at this. Even the Black Moon Lilith Oracle is telling it. You are worthy, collective. All right. Please stop guessing yourself. Allow your light to shine. Okay. Because you are integrating into your ultimate higher selves in your ultimate highest timeline. All right. Utilizing your intuition as well as emotionally healing self. There's that alchemy you are being assisted with as well. You're not even expected to alchemize it like all on your own. right? Like, while everybody just chews on popcorn. No, you're being assisted even now, even before you receive this message. And this message is also part and parcel of assisting you. You're doing it, babe. So serious. You are too blessed. You are too worthy. Okay. Perhaps you are frustrated over not being paid enough for your work, or you have negative self-talk about your body because of external opinions. You may also feel tension around your worth and value in relationships. Now it's time to heal. When the Black Moon Lilith is in Taurus, Oracle card shows up. The universe wants you to alchemize the shadow holding you back from true abundance. Wow. Spirit coming through with the come through today. Because what did I already say? You know what I'm saying? And this oracle is one of the newer, I don't have any of them. I'm so serious. Like, come through, Spirit. Yikes. Abundance is coming. Believe in your value in order to receive it. What the? I could shut it down right now. I could shut it down right now. Abundance is coming. Believe in your value in order to receive it. Abundance is coming. Believe in your value in order to receive it. So, part and parcel of your I am affirmations perhaps could be along with I am worthy. Okay. I am abundance. Yep. And I receive my abundance now. I receive my universal abundance now. I am abundance, right? Keep going, you guys. You are so worthy. Like, the divine is, this is, I'm probably channeling like the emotional aspect connected to the divinity backing, because it's just like, how you would say maybe like a proud parent or proud grandparent. Like, I just want so badly for you guys to clink and just really align with this so that you get it, because it's literally already in existence for you. All right. And you literally deserve it. The divine is saying you are worthy to reserve this. Yeah, you are worthy to receive this. You are worthy to receive the all that the all in all has for you to receive. Okay. Fear not. Don't self-sabotage, by feeling and thinking less than. Here's the sitch. You are directly connected to divinity. So why would you still, on the other side of knowing that and really believing it and understanding, okay, why would you still shit on the divine? Excuse me. Why would you still shit on you? Oh, see how there's no difference there? Don't shit. Okay, unless it's on the potty. That's it. Gone are the days where you are talking less than, thinking less than, right? Loving on you less than, okay? Because this is new earth, and you're here not to bring the old aspects, the crappy aspects, the low vibes aspects, the demonic aspects, right? Let's be honest. Of the old paradigm, of the old earth, of the old consciousness, of the old fears into the new. That would be the ultimate self-sabotage. And that's not on the menu. Fair warning. Okay. So yeah, you have that pesky free will situation to deal with, but what will you of it, collective, right? You better know. Because karmic repercussions don't necessarily have any pity. They just are what they are, just like you too just are who you are, and you are not who you are not. Makes sense? It's giving, it is what it is. Okay. So serious, you guys. So for those that resonate with this next one, and it just is what it is, baby. I'm so serious. I love you though. Okay. Cut your losses. And what of it? Okay. If you're talking money, I get it. If you're talking people, friends, restaurants, I get it. If you're talking business, clients, I get it. If you're talking locational demographics, I get it. And still the message stands, cut your losses, because you holding on to that is holding you back. greater than the perceived loss, as great as it may be. And gosh, I'm not unmindful of the current energies, current dispensation. It may be great, but please don't get it twisted and place your worth into that great loss. Please also don't get it twisted and hyper focus on lack. I don't know how else to say it, baby. You got to keep going. All right. If it's falling off, if it's running away from you, it ought to. It's okay. I didn't say it won't hurt. I didn't say, your feelings aren't valid about it, in the sense that maybe you might need to shed some tears. You better go on ahead, cleanse, alchemize. I'm not mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Just don't get stuck there. All right. Don't lose hope there. Don't lose believability in yourselves and or the divine simultaneously there. Okay? So serious. Now, for those that can resonate with having to do something larger than life, perhaps, definitely damn sure bigger than them, the message still stands. Go for it. Here's the key, though. Know your why. You might have to slow it down and allow that reminder during that divine femininity session to come in. Allow that confirmation even to come in. And the divine is grace-filled enough to give you just that and so much more. If you would only slow it down and get into that divine femininity, divine feminine type of energy, to allow for the energies to be conducive for you to receive what already exists for you. You need a pat on the back, it already exists for you. You need a pep talk, it already exists for you. You need a friend, it already exists for you. Okay, you need a parent, it already exists for you. Will you align to it? Will you live out the truth in that matter? Okay, and a lot of you, you really have to know, because often you're expected to reparent yourselves. Often you're expected to keep your own selves encouraged. They made songs about it even in the religious community. That's how much of a thing that is. Okay. So you would know if you were in this to win it, because you would be doing the work. You would be facing yourselves, dark and light, masculine and feminine, and you would be balancing ish out. I'm here for those that do this work and continue. All right. So thank you for being here, and thank you for continuing on, because you are all making positive changes. Yes, to co-create that utopia under New Earth energy, but also collectively, consciously, for the highest and greatest good of the collective, right? This is big-ish. This is very beneficial-ish to divine forces. So of course you are protected. Of course you will be receiving your wishes fulfillment, whether in love, whether in business. Okay, so where is the lack here, right? Because you don't see it yet. Okay, are you fearing that simply and solely because energy is fluid, from one moment to the next you're no longer enough? How would that be true about actual divinity? Could you imagine you go to pray to God, dear God, and by the time you said God no longer had a throne? But then if you waited 12 minutes from then, he'd find it and crawl back up there, and then you could finish the prayer. Like, are you serious? Like, make it make sense. Because you either believe or you don't. And you're going to live like either you believe or you don't. I don't want to see that. I don't want you in that type of timeline. So if I can help it, I'm going to encourage the crap out of you to make sure you're making the higher vibrational choices. I can't sit here and say right versus wrong choices, because choices just are. So serious. Okay. And who am I to judge divinity? Makes sense. Higher power coming through with the come through. All right. Your higher selves. If you're still here with me, actually intentionally receiving this message, your higher selves stand for this. All right. And you are to keep going. You are to keep integrating. You are to keep transforming. You are to surrender to the transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. There's that Metatron energy. Just saying. Now's not the time to dim anything, including your light, to fit in. Why the hell would you be co-creating New Earth energy, talking about, and simultaneously be invisible and don't make a mark here? Are you kidding? I'm hearing that Beyonce song. I don't know if it's called I Was Here, but I was here. I can't really get the words, but it's like, you may resonate with that song. It's like, no, you came to actually put your freaking mark on this place. Okay. It's like, oh yeah, over in the East Wing, that's collective members, participation in the matter. Yes. And celebrate every step, every aspect of participation in the matter. You guys, you do so much. Some of you for the collective, behind closed doors, ugly crying it out in silence, some of you, than people who have platforms. Chills on that. Stacked high and low, left and right, above and below. Okay. I'm so serious. So please don't get it twisted that you've got to have some sort of, ginormous outward type of mission where, everybody's got to know your name and your, place of birth. Okay. It's not necessarily that type of time, depending on whom all I'm addressing. Okay. So don't get it twisted just because, maybe you do have this awareness that you cry a lot because you are alchemizing collective energies. Do you want to know some people who, going back to those same people, let's take people, off the table because I still feel like it goes back to rulers, principalities, would be able, they would want to be able to pay for that type of power that you carry behind closed doors with you in the divine. So please, knowing that you're that one, don't turn right around and go, am I connected to the divine? Does God still love me now? Because here's the sitch. There are whole groups of people. There's agendas, organizations, rulers, principalities that would love for you to believe otherwise. Whole time you're divine as ever. Whole time the divine has chosen you. Whole time the divine is betting on you, believes in you to carry out what all you came to do here. However, behind the scenes, it may be or not. All right. So there's this, respectfully, stop. Just for the love of God, please stop restricting divinity. Okay? Divinity has nothing to do with all aspects of what your muggle self, all right, to use a Harry Potter term, is able to think and perhaps even integrate and alchemize on its own. When we talk of you being this phoenix rising from the ashes, when we talk of you, overcoming the odds, as it were, please don't get it twisted and think that that's because it was always you doing it on your own, always and in always by yourselves, off your own blood, sweat, and tears. Because as you blood, sweat, and tear, first of all right, let's just go to the ancestor realm. They're right there with you. Let's go to the religious community. Christianity comes to mind, right? You're never alone there. Yeshua is always with you. And if you haven't noticed, Yeshua is with this collective. Makes sense? So there's a thing to this. It's bigger than you. So it doesn't ever have to fall always in and always on you. Same deal as well. Please stop restricting divinity, especially if you see how that's connecting to you, okay, and vice versa. You really start honoring the path. You really start honoring your existence. Like, oh wow, like, oh wow, I'm the observer. Like, I'm not just my government name. I'm not just my title. I'm not just, my products and services. Make it make sense. But you are far more than meets the eye here, even spiritually, right? Even someone reading you energetically. The divine is not going to allow everyone to read you, and read the whole aspect of your rooms, as it were, energetically. You too should be mindful not to allow access for that to happen. Make sense? Big stuff here. A lot of divinity, okay? But what are you clinging on to, okay? Collective, what you're clinging on to right now, I'm not here saying always and in all ways, but please triple check if you gotta, is part of what you gotta let go, most likely. Think about it. You don't necessarily cling to stuff that you've resolved you already have and will always have. Makes sense? There's some fear there that makes you want to grip something, someone tighter. And here's the sitch. You can grab onto the rope if you wanna, but divine right and roll. Okay, you came here to do stuff. And so certain stuff must happen. And so this is why we talk about karmic repercussions. Not because the divine has set us up for failure, but because sometimes our muggle selves and aspects of, disconnection, as it were, because we're on the other side of the veil type of thing, can lead to some off-kilter trajectory, all right, that somebody may find themselves in every now and again. I'm not here to word curse. I'm trying to artfully craft that, so I'm not. But this crumbling energy, what are you clinging on to, really is giving, here's the sitch. If you're not willing to, on your own, let go, then be ready for the tower moment that's going to most assuredly hit, because the divine placed you here and you are here purposefully, and you are to be in alignment with a certain trajectory. Again, it goes back to divine timing, right? So that what you can live out your best life, not so that you can just be made an example of and everybody can laugh while they chew popcorn. Okay, I don't know who's telling you that. Is that you telling you that? And you better deal with you on that one then. And if it's not you, you better stop dealing with whoever's telling you that. Okay, like, so serious, right? Star Mother, there's that Magdalene energy here. How can you mother yourself? Okay, maybe you do need to take charge in the sense of reparenting yourself, especially if you've come to find out that you've been parentized along the way by a narcissistic family member. Okay, whether mother or not. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? And boundaries with self. Okay, when you're balancing out dark and light, even if you're balancing out light, excuse me, I meant to say dark. But I digress. Even when you're balancing out dark energy, you got to know how to handle your dark energy. Which you just gonna wait until you punch you in the face with you, right? Like, you got to know who you're dealing with. How do you know until you know? Well, you have to buck around and find out. Okay, so don't fear yourselves to the point where you won't check in. Makes sense? That's a recipe for disaster. So serious. Okay, the power is understanding exactly who and what you are versus who you are not, and what all you can, and most importantly, will, with that power, with that understanding, with that knowledge, with that skill set of yours. I know this is something that I want to set my nose aside. The ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you, but that tower moment will come. Okay, if you don't allow for this transformation, this death and rebirth energy, okay, if you won't allow for this heightened awareness to come through, the divine is most assuredly going to cause you to have clarity, and it might be in the most disruptive sense. Okay, it just behoove you well, you'd stay with your hair perfectly coiffed and not mussed, and you'd probably stay smelling sweet too if you just allow for divine right and rule, the agenda, the transformation, the timing to occur, to surrender to it. Yeah, align your life here. Definitely integrate that mental space, the emotional body as well. You guys, we are big stuff. We don't even have just one body. So serious. All right. Most of who and what we are is not even able to be stuffed into the meat suit. I don't even care how morbidly obese it may be. You know what I'm saying? I'm so serious. Not to be rude. Just saying. What is not aligned or needs to change here, collective. All right. You need to deal with this. Okay, do it triggered if you gotta, but come out on the other side, okay, understanding, yes, the hell you did allow for this transformation, whether guy, girl, what have you. And for those fearing, okay, like, okay, am I just going to be alone at this forever? I'm just going to keep ascending. You know, I've thought this along the way, especially those twin flames out there. You may resonate with this. It's like, okay, so if I just keep going, I'm just ensuring that I shoot myself in the foot with this connection. But it's so funny because now they're bringing back remembrance of about there was some card here referable to unions. It's like in the most auspicious way, unions may happen. And I didn't really highlight it, but well, I mean, the sacral chakra assists with manifesting success and abundance. The solar plexus chakra assists with knowing your worth, knowing you are worthy. I am not finding that. That's so interesting because it said about... But you're calling in your soul tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Like, even with the amount of work that you've done, and even if, let's say that, like, you literally just could do it all alone, the divine still is like, you should not. Okay, so again, it's not a call to reclusivity. It's a call to keep going. It's a call to be in alignment with what's coming towards you. All right, inclusive of that soul family, that high vibe tribe, as it were. And of course, you've got us right here, don't you? Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Well, you are supported. You're too blessed to be pressed, stressed, broke, busted, disgusted. It's so serious, okay? And again, it goes back to what are you thinking, feeling truthfully, authentically with self, about self, as well as divinity, okay? You really need to harness in on the highest vibrational aspect of all of that so that you produce that on your outwardly aspected path, okay? When you look to the left and to the right, okay? Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors, I mentioned them as well, stand beside you. But this is also, you know, you really being expected to answer the call, to take heed, to stand up, to not give up, to surrender to the transformation, to allow what may need to crumble and lop off you to do just that, okay? Whether persons, places, things, all right? Allow your light to shine because you are becoming whole again in this new earth energy. So serious. You are coming back unto source ascended master power, essentially, in this new earth energy, okay? And that is not far outside the realm of Yeshua. It makes sense? Hello, divinity. Divinity calling. All right. So I'm going to ring the bell, and then we're going to close out the session, because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole just yet. I got to prepare myself like, okay, here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to shoot our own selves in the foot, okay, on the live stream. Just saying. I'm saying that. I'm saying like ourselves in the sense of me and my guides. Beautiful message though. We're almost done. This was really a lot, you guys. I don't know what you think, but I'm like, wow. And it's so crazy because we were basically talking about some aspects of that earlier this morning. All right, so the bell has rung, you guys. Okay, I see Cassandra. Let's see here. Ooh, right. Good question. Yikes. I'm looking at the Ten of Pentacles. And the yes card comes out. So, you know what it is? It's like, it's kind of giving, yeah, we know we owe you that, but don't necessarily have that. But you get that on the other side, Cassandra, of asking for it because, you know, karmically and who you are, what you are, have to, plus legally have to. But I do see that that could be a little bit of karmic repercussions. You having to ask for that. I do see a little bit of deficit on the end of the business there. Oh, well, and like, thank you, next. So that's what I have for you, Cassandra. Much love and light, babe. Okay, let me see here. Eat me. Oh. Hoo-hoo. We got a yes. A yes and a yes. It's like you know it. You just wanted to make sure you weren't being delusional, right? You're not being delusional. Eat me. Much love and light, babe. Okay. Yes, before the event ends. It was 3 yeses. I know you need to get some sleep though, babe. My goodness. How will you do it all? I'm not helping. But yeah, no, you got this. You just gotta stay determined. If that makes sense. All right. Eat me. Okay. So I'm gonna continue on because I don't see any other eat me. You're so cute. It's like, yay! Keep that spirit, babe. That's gonna help for sure, for sure. All right. So I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. Are you ready? Here's our blue Larimar stone again. I know you got confused. Which live stream is this? But in all seriousness, you guys, came back out again when I pulled from one of my crystals decks. to assist the collective resonating with this, especially high key, in these next moments. Okay. And of course, this talks about assists with, feeling nurtured, assists with, aspects of release. How fitting. Okay. We were just talking about this. It also is calming and soothing, which we did talk about that earlier this morning. I am calm and embrace change. All right. So change is inevitable. Change doesn't have to mean, some ill-fated event. Okay. Don't fear yourselves into one. Makes sense. Especially in this new earth, super potent AF, powerfully so, type of energy and timeline. Okay. I also pulled for you Orange Adventuring. Okay. It says, I am confident and filled with vitality. There's that passion energy. All right. Of course, we've got Barry to assist us with that. But also, you guys, there could be some significance to jewelry, because I do have a lot of jewelry to assist with you identifying the stones. Okay. So this is also Orange Adventuring. All right. Confidence, creativity, and energy. Orange Adventuring. We also had Peridot come out. It is safe for me to detoxify and heal. So allowing for that lop off to lop off. This is also a protective, purifying, and healing stone. And I do have that on my poison ring today. All right, Peridot. We've also had Sunstone come out for you, collective. I am proud of the person that I am. Okay. And so I do have, I didn't have I thought I had a bracelet, but I don't think I'm finding that today. I don't know if you guys, maybe it's blurry. I love Sunstone because it's so zillion trillion sparkly. I don't know, I really understand it. But you guys, if you ever have the chance to experience it in person, go to your metaphysical store perhaps and see it. It's so sparkly. I love it so much. Oh, thank you, Ricky J. Empowerment, vitality, joy, and last but certainly not least, angel light, communication, higher self, intuition. I am in touch with the universe. Of course you are. You're coded with it. Makes sense. And I do have some angel light to share. Okay. You guys, these stones, aside from maybe the peridot, depending on how raw you get it or not, are fairly inexpensive for those wondering. But I do share just so you have a bit of connectivity. All right. Thank you, Freaky J. So yeah. So, okay, now let's get to the final aspect of the message. Now that you're well on your way with this journey, this transformation, you're equipped with your crystals, you got your crown on straight. We're going to remember our why in all of this. Okay. And this is where, again, it's connecting to that energy that we kind of tapped into in the wee early hours of the morning. Hole in the soul. Well, there. Okay. Now we're talking. We're going to get back to that. But, self-sabotage came out the deck as well. Oh, my goodness. We've got procrastination. Oh, my goodness. What kind of Pandora's box did we? Letting go. Okay. Giving a command at this point. Okay. And, there's that 13 again. Is that 13 again? My goodness. Rejection. And, my goodness, another 5 with sadness. Just saying, collective. Okay, look up those angel numbers, would ya? They really help round out the message. I'm so serious. Cannot say it enough, you guys. All right. To not do so at this point would be, for the course of self-sabotage, because you're not allowing yourselves to be built up in the wherewithal. Your spiritual, acumen also comes to mind. It's like, make sure that you understand who you are at this point, because you don't want to fall prey to any type of illusion. Who you are is divinity walking, royal divinity to be exact. Okay. Not just a human, not just a being. Makes sense? All right. So, really, you are coming here to assist with that defrag. All right, going back to that computer program analogy. Let's Let's try words. Okay. Analogy makes sense. Okay. And we're going to dive into that one. But you are also being asked to be authentic with yourself, to self, about have the whole conversation. Have the whole round table conversation with self about self, okay? From dark and light and masculine to feminine and anywhere in between, all right? That you have consciousness, okay? You really want to take a good look. What are you rocking with and why? And you've got to be purposeful about this because, again, what you are rocking with, what you have agreements with internally, will definitely show its face or its ass externally. Make sense? The aligned energy of 8 coming out with procrastination. Could that be holding you back from this success? Well, if it is, why are you procrastinating? Is it just because laziness, which can also be connected to a spirit? So you got to know, all right, and or is it connected to fear of success? Once I get to the top, do I stay there? Once I get to the top, how does my life change? Once I get to the top, will I still actually love me? Right? If you're asking those questions now, you want to answer them before you get where you're going here, honey bun. And let go. Cannot say it any more plainly. Let it lop off. If it's running away, don't go catch it. What the hell would you do that for at this point? This is life or death, baby. Now everybody can go where you're going. And again, going back to any iconic movie scene in any action film, if it's you or them, it's got to be. Right? Okay. 13 again. Rejection. Let go of the rejection. It was your protection anyways, so now what of it? You just had a skewed perception about the rejection. And now you can move on now that you know better. You don't have to stay stuck in the rejection, how they specifically called your name out in it, how they specifically looked you in your face while they were calling your name out in it, and while they were projecting it onto you, because really the whole time they were triggered, because the whole time you were divinity walking, and so you were pouring into them everything they did not want to see about themselves to self. So they got hurt, and you know what they say about hurt people. They hurt people. And you were around. So there's that. You don't have to make it be literal gospel just because they had your name in their mouth, just because they were in your face with your name in their mouth. And so what of it? It's an illusion at best. Because whole time they're spewing lies. No truths in the matter. As long as you know that, you can free yourself up and move on along. Who cares if they get stuck there with your name in their mouth and with not so good things? Eventually the divine will remove them, and whole time you benefit, because each and every time they project towards you, all right, they project venom onto your name. They're leveling you up in spirit. All right, you almost want to thank them, maybe make songs about it. Just saying. Okay, let go of the sadness. Now that you have this clarity, now that you understand, oh, I'm in control, oh, I'm in the cockpit. Oh, okay. Oh, last is first now? Oh, okay. You better not stay stuck in the sad. What would you be sad for? What's so great to be sad for when you're building new earth and it's like what you want, as long as you do the work, right? Either way, you're doing some kind of work here. So part of the course of existence makes sense. Okay. So make it make sense for you. Now this hole in the soul has a 36 reducing to a very brilliant 9. However, the 9s, can't get around them this session either, huh? Really do, again, go back to that potentiality, just like the 9 of Wands, to have some sort of self-sabotage. I mean, they even made cards about it, like, I'm not coming for you. Spirit's out in you. What do you want me to say? I'm the messenger, okay? So hole in the soul, we're going to talk about it. One way your childhood wounds disrupt an extraordinary life is through low-grade depression, experienced as a perpetual empty feeling. Okay, is that why you're feeling sad? Perhaps you gotta ask yourselves these hard questions, collective. I'm not picking on you. I want you to ask truthfully, honestly, answer just the same, so that you can get over some of these hurdles that you're not meant to stay stuck on, if that makes sense. All right. If as a child you tried to make everything all right by picking up the pieces of your family dramas, then you adopted a false self. When you lose your authentic self, You disconnect from your true feelings, needs, and desires. It's so interesting and kind of sad because often the divine are asking you to know exactly just that. What are your feelings? What are your needs? And what are your desires? Instead, you wear a mask to make others feel more comfortable. Being detached leads to profound loneliness and isolation, as you're always mourning your true selves. This card encourages you to discover your true self through learning about your childhood and mourning the abandonment and neglect you felt. Okay. And for those interested in this, right? The action here under the guidance in the guidebook states as follows: find a safe place. Use colored pencils to draw several masks. Each mask needs to represent an aspect of your false self, such as a good girl or boy, such as a savior, such as a slave, such as a rebel, such as a victim, such as an overachiever. Take time to write or draw the qualities you feel each false self contains. Turn on some powerful music, put on a mask, and move in a way you feel the mask requires for you to express yourself and feel the feelings you may have suppressed. Oh, you better get the tissues and be prepared to rage it out. That's okay. But not doing the work is what is really not okay. Okay. Once you have completed the dance, take off the physical mask and burn it. Ooh, I love that. Then imagine energetically taking off the false masks you wear in front of various people. Give yourself permission to be your real self. Imagine a person in front of you who you feel doesn't accept you. Say in your Gene Belcher voice, "This is me now." No, I'm just joking. But say, "I am going to betray you now and recover my true self." Again, ooh, going back to the iconic movie type of dynamic. It's either you or me, right? Can't be both of us. So it's going to be who? Just saying, right? Now imagine the person saying to you, "I understand you and encourage you to become the person you were meant to be." Let the Delulu fight for you, especially if you know that's something they would never say. You can manifest the experience about it and take your energy away out of the experience. That's what's going to unlock your energy that may otherwise fall prey to residual entrapment, which goes like, wow, every time this year I remember how like I was fired from that job. I remember how they escorted me out of the building, right? Like, just whatever, plug in, whatever, right? And it's like, you don't have to be beholden to that. Just like you don't have to be beholden to projections when they should be projected onto you by people who perhaps claim to love you. Okay. Hurt people. Just saying. And whoever I'm speaking to, you do understand that self-love is very much a lifestyle. I do get that you very much intend to, live out that lifestyle. Keep going. You are integrating the alchemy that is the prerequisite towards getting to the final aspect of what all you've been performing out here to beautify your path. I'm so serious. It's giving you're almost there. 22 could be an angel number of some significance, okay? And really you're being asked to have faith here. But Spirit wanted to talk about on the other side of letting go. I'm sorry, that's not even what it was. What was it? On the other side of, excuse me, not letting go, the hole in the soul. We're talking about self-love. Take time out to get to know yourself and what works for you in this particular cycle of your life, in this particular utopia, in this particular new timeline, in this particular new earth energy. Make sense? Okay. Some of the biggest obstacles to self-love are self-criticism and perfectionism, which lead to harsh judgment of the self, closing down, and eventually illness. Have you been trying to compete with others, get approval from people in your family, or simply pushing yourself too hard? If so, you need to soften and start listening to your body. Focus on keeping your heart open and practice acknowledging and recognizing the good in yourself and others. This card beckons you to breathe love in and out every moment of the day. Ask yourself, what changes do I need to make to my daily routine so that love can pulsate through every breath, action, and relationship I engage in. But really, par for the course of honing in on self firstly. Do not get it twisted. Old Earth went like, let me see how I can help everybody but me, and then hope, goodness, grace, and mercy ensues to the point where I still have something left to give me. That is not the call here. You can't really help anyone in this new Earth energy the way the shifts are shifting and the transits are transiting. Okay. If you already don't know how to do the work, if you already don't know how to be the promise, if you already don't know how to be the prophecy. And again, it goes back to that 22 angelic code. Just saying. All right. So what changes do you need to make to your daily routine? Choose to open your heart through softness, collective. Okay. You don't have to be in that overarched masculine energy. Okay. Which, maybe gives tough love at best. It's all walking off. Oh, you're still alive. Oh, but did you die? Right. It's like, that's not helping here. Okay. Femininity is being called to the forefront, right? Really understanding the why, understanding the details, understanding the worth, right? Like, so that you're left with unshakable faith, right? Not half-assed faith. Like, oh yeah, no, I'm probably gonna win. Probably no, I maybe got this. What? What the little engine said? What now? Right? Make it make sense, okay? So you're being guided. Anytime anyone says something nice to you or offers to help you, to take a deep breath, thank them, and accept. Ooh, maybe that's something that you got to work on here. You got to work on integrating the feminine energy into your aspected path, whether guy, girl, what have you. You got to work on understanding in a forward frontal focus where everyone knows now, and you're not hiding the truth of the matter, is that you understand, hello, hey, hi, I am worthy. You are worthy. Okay. And it's not because someone outside of yourselves told you that. All right. And I love that for you. That's what I want for each and every one of you. All right. So please don't give up. Please keep going. Please have faith. Okay. You already have all the answers for this voyage, whether in the within space, whether the direct connect to source type of aspect of your existence, of your experience here, or not, and beyond. Okay, because I'm also getting cosmic connections, starseed connections, family. Okay, you also have Lemurian and Atlanteus. Oh my God, Atlantean vibes coming out here. And it's so funny, this 34 reducing to another 7. I feel like we were talking about those earlier this morning as well in the live stream, talking about rewards coming in on the other side of closing out cycles. This is giving graduation energy. Yeah, be honest with yourselves here. This authenticity is not going to actually stunt your growth, but it's really going to allow you to expand. Okay, so don't dim it. Don't ignore it now. You don't need anyone else to fix you at this point. You got you. You've got you in the divine. You're doing the damn thing. Cracks and all. Gold filler and all. And what of it? It's beautiful. It's just becoming more beautiful over time. God forbid it should crack God forbid it should crack again for one more chance at which to add more glint. All right, those that like shiny baubles know what I mean by adding that glint. It's like, where's the problem? Like, oh, you just want to add some more sparkles into the sandstone. Where's the problem? It just becomes more fabulous, right? Makes sense. Remember to practice self-love. Okay, it is your lifestyle. It is par for the course. It is par for your maintenance, spiritual and otherwise at this point. So please, okay, be mindful and use that bitch fire you got anyhow, right? Whether guy, girl, what have you, stand up for yourselves. Stand up in truth, light, and clarity for yourselves, for your utopia, for your beautified path, for your existence, for your now space in new earth energy, okay? And of course, the divine asks that of you, not because you can't, but because you are definitely able to do that, okay? Yeah. You're being asked to really sit and listen to your higher selves at this point. You know, maybe even that of over any tarot reader. Pour into you so you stay built up, okay? Yeah, there's something about perception. On the other side of perception being tweaked comes greater clarity. Yep, keep going, you guys. Keep learning. You're not really here to ever stop learning anyways, so it's okay to learn, right? That's part of the course of being alive. Yep. And keep integrating your aspects of balance into that light and dark and masculine feminine sides energetically. Because you're well on your way to your next milestone in this ascension. All right. Good things ahead for you guys. I'm not getting any specifics, but I mean, the Ace of Wands would say it all in one felt swoop, in one tarot card, if I do say so myself, you guys. And it is protected. It is protected by divine forces. There's really no self-sabotaging this. It's just a matter of being in alignment with it to allow it to come in. Okay, see how there's no self-sabotage in that? Once it comes in, but you would have to do the work beforehand, all right, to know that you know that you know, right? It's giving, how bad do you want it? Are you gonna continue to integrate your soul fragments into spaces that bode you well now, right? So that you are actioning out of that higher consciousness state of awareness? Question mark, right? Okay, let's see here. You have 14 eggs finished. Event starts in 7 minutes. Oh, eat me. Much love and light, buddy. Gosh, I don't even want to tap into that. I'm like, because me, I get all, whew, I don't like to be late. I'd rather be early, and I'd rather wait on people than to have people waiting on me. But shoot, things happen because I'm just reminded of that last moderator session. I'm like, I was so late for that. I was late for the live, and you know what, you guys? I got up way before 9:30, and even before 9:30, I was pulling cards. But you see, I've got stacks and boxes. Like, I don't like to half-ass the reads, and I don't like to be like strong-arming, anyone's aspect of spiritual guidance team, or just in general, of course, divinity, right? Could you imagine, right? Like, God, right, walks in the room and you're all like, could you hurry up and just give me It's like, yeah, God, I get it, but like, can you just tell me what you have to say? Being all dismissive and ish. Are you kidding? If I'm being honest, I had like a whole cathartic session. I got really emotional moments before trying to come on. Like, your girl be going through stuff. Just alchemizing, loving it, and elating. Just saying, so serious. So please don't think you're the only one. I'm not exactly sure. Sometimes I think, like, especially if I know I get to crying, like I get to being in an emotional state and I don't necessarily have awareness of the why, I just go, collective, much love and light. Like, and I just, alchemize as I please, and keep about my day, loving and enlightening you guys from afar. I'm so serious, okay? But yeah, so I'm not here to rush divine timing. I don't encourage anyone else should be. Makes sense. But I believe in you, eat me. And you said the question was before the event ends, not before it starts. I thought. So just to be clear, I think you got time to be a little late, babe. With the goodies that you're walking in with, nobody will mind. uh, all right, you guys. Been at this about 2 hours now. I'm gonna hop off. Much love and light to you. And happy Saturday. I'm gonna do a poll later. I want to get into like some love energies, maybe some, I don't know, I'm gonna do a poll, see what you guys want, if you want sexy tarot. But it's just like sexy tarot like might be mid compared to like what it could be the next time, but then again, maybe not. But I know what I have coming, and it's really juicy for the channel. But I do have some other things that I could integrate just to keep it spicy. I don't know, you guys, lately the sessions have been quite vanilla. No, I'm just joking. Could you imagine if I was all judgy? Like, I don't know, you guys, your sex life ain't it. Do I have to read it? Like, could you imagine? Who am I to talk anyways, right? Y'all know I'm joking with the jokiest of jokes right there. Okay, no worries. But I'll do a poll later just to see general collective consensus, okay? Because I don't want to like force sexy tarot on anyone. But I do want to do love. I can feel it. I'm channeling too many songs, so Might do a pickle pile on that, but we'll see what happens. All right, you guys look for the live stream later tonight. I don't really have a time because even when I do, what's time anyways? I just show up whenever I show up anyhow, even though not for not trying, just saying, oh my goodness. And I actually in life do not prefer to be, not punctual, but I feel like I come on here all the time. I'm like, I got here much later. It's like 3 days later than like what I intended to. Even if I have a date and time, I'm like, you know what? Let me just go with the flow anymore, right? Makes sense. I should. Okay. So it is what you make of it, collective. Thanks for sticking it out with your girl. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for assisting getting the watch hours up. You guys, we're really making numbers. And I really am so appreciative, you guys. I really hope this helps get the free messages out to more beautiful souls. So serious. I'm mindful the universe controls the ultimate algorithm, but I'm also mindful rulers, principalities really, karmically are asking for a whole heaping pile of karma. So serious, okay? So be mindful, protect your energy, and keep it positive as best you can. And if and when you should find that you have need of assistance to do that, please ask. Okay? Archangel Michael don't mind. Yeshua don't mind. God, Goddess don't mind. The universe don't mind, right? Your ancestors don't mind. Uh, you know, Uncle Lou don't mind, right? Like, call on your reserves here. Okay, they are par for the course of your resources. Makes sense? You don't have to go at this always and always alone. All right, and do whatever works. If reaching out to a particular saint even comes to mind, right? Saint Teresa, perhaps, right? Reach out then, okay? Because the more that you have tangible evidence, there's that word again, and I have to put the air quotes because it's not necessarily something you can put your hands on, but it could be if you've asked for confirmation that you'd like to see a certain animal, in affirmation that you are, in alignment. Next thing you know, there's that plushie at the store. There's that pink elephant you can now pick up and squeeze a bit. That's tangibility, isn't it? All right. The more that you do these things, the more that you offer the divine space for you to have basically spatial awareness of their existence in your life. And it's giving win, 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 win. So please do the work. It's going to make you happy and joy filled and not take from you and not rob you like fear will. I'm so serious, you guys. If you're going to be stubborn in anything, it shouldn't be in fear. It should be in faith. Okay. I love you guys so, so much. And I very much look forward to hanging out with you later. You guys do something nice for yourselves. You are amazing. You are worthy. You are more than enough. You are deserving and you are capable. All right. I believe in you. You better believe in you too. I'm so serious, you guys. I mean it. I love you all. Much love and light.